Hey friends, welcome to Spare Change, Stacking Pennies, Sonoma edition here. Corey LaJoie alongside Ryan Flores, breaking down a couple awesome Sonoma clips. Sonoma has been a staple of the NASCAR Cup Series schedule for decades now. We've seen flips, we've seen some great endings, we've seen a lot of good racing. But this week, the story is the fresh coat of pavement on that old girl. And there was a tire test. There's been wheel force tests out there. Martin Truex, Josh Berry, and Ross Chastain were the three guys at the tire test in May, and they say the old girl's got some speed.
Think there'll be any tire fall off?
Doubtful. It's gonna you're gonna be freaking whooped after this one.
Really?
Yeah, just making a lot. I mean, as abrasive as the pavement was, you could only apply really as much brake pressure anywhere. Applies anywhere as the tire can take, but now the tire's going to be able to take so much more
so you can just drive
pressure
as hard as you want all race long.
And just smash the brake pedal. And you're going to be making a lot more lateral G up the hill through 1, 2, and you're just going to, through the S's, you're going to be hauling ass. So you're going to be whooped. Especially if it's hot, you're going to be freaking spent, and I'm looking forward to it. Separate the men from the little boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a place where I've always felt I learned a valuable lesson here as a young man, because I've always wanted to win Sonoma. I've always felt, especially when we just went to 2 road courses a year, I wouldn't call it a crown jewel, but I always thought it was like a really special place to win, and a place that I've always wanted to win. Like, you wanted to win at Sonoma and Watkins Glen because it was different.
Yeah.
Now we go to 6 or 7 road courses a year, but back when it was the only 2, the first year working for Tony, 2011, Vickers wrecked it. We had gotten into Vickers. We were gonna win it. I felt like we were gonna win the race. We hadn't won a race all year, and we were making hay. I think we were like 4th, and we were on a good strategy, and we were in contention to win the race. And Vickers ended up parking us on top of the tires in 11. And I was so mad. I was 23. I was ready to fight. I'm like, let's go fight these guys. And then Tony, I get back to the truck, tear down, get back to the truck. Tony gets out of the truck. He's dressed. And I was like, should we go fight them? And he's like, no. It's all, who cares? And I was like, oh, it was like a great lesson to me right then and there. Like, don't get too caught up in this. Like, you're merely just working on the car. If the driver's not mad, you can't be more mad at the driver, and I don't need to get in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So that was where I learned that lesson, and I've never felt that way ever since then. Like, I've never been like that fired up after a race ever.
Really?
Never.
Why? Feel like done it deliberate?
Emotionally, I stay invested in what is important, like, that I can control, and what happens on the racetrack with the drivers is between them. And if I get emotionally attached to that, like okay, so say you run into Daniel Suarez, right? I'm friends with Daniel Suarez, just like you are.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys become enemigos, and I take your side, I'm on your team, and I tell Daniel, I go down there and start jawing, right? You and him are eventually going to make up.
Yeah.
Then I still look like the clown.
Yeah.
I'm not putting myself in that position ever, right? Like, that's between you and him. I'm just bolting the tires on.
Yeah.
Joey, it was funny, when Joey and Brad got into each other at Daytona 500. I had to fly home with Joey the next day because we flew down there. He drove the dirt car. And I hadn't talked to him. And the next day I got there, and he's like, what'd you think? And I said, I think the wheels were tight when you guys wrecked. That's I control what I control. The rest is on the other way. Oh, and come to think of it, when you hear the whole story of that day, there's a lot more that went into it that I didn't know. Yeah. So I would have looked like a clown if I was saying something.
There was contract negotiations going on. There was all that.
Long story short, I learned that lesson in Sonoma.
What we also learned from Sonoma is tire packs are bad because they are absolute car launchers.
They are car launchers, dude.
We have seen multiple flips at Sonoma. Right here, 1999, we see Steve Park coming up in turn one. Yeesh. Just launching a car like Levi upstairs in our playroom off the couch. That's what that Pennzoil number one looked
It reminds
like.
me of the field for their fairgrounds back there when we started racing go-karts behind the seat shop, and we had go-karts with tires, and you'd hit them and they would just launch you into oblivion.
Yeah.
That's the exhaust pipe that's flying out of there? Oh my, that is the boom tubes.
H pipes.
God,
Those are pretty hot. You don't
It
wanna
looks
pick those
like
up
the
for
old
a-
midgets, like when they would wreck and it would fling the guy out. That's what it looked like. He flew out of the car.
Was it Mark Martin that flipped there pretty big too? If you get off the track there and you hit tire packs, they will launch a car.
Not good.
So
I guess it's better than hitting a dirt mound though. I'd rather go up than dead stop.
yeah, and one of my all-time favorite Sonoma YouTube searches is Ricky Rudd's footwork in that Tide ride, the old square cut gears, running the old. This is before the chute was even a thing. They ran the carousel and with the big hard braking zone into that right-hander. And Ricky Rudd is in here just dancing on the pedals.
Which way do you like the track better?
I like the way we are racing it this weekend with the chute.
Really?
I think it's faster lap times. I think
It's
it
faster?
keeps in just terms of overall speed, like lap time. So that means the fans get to see it a little bit more often. But here we see a little bit of action. I wish we could see somebody who I think about having similar style to this is SVG.
Yeah.
Right foot braking when he needs it, clutching it if the thing starts wheel hopping. This is just sweetness. Just chef's kiss.
Oh yeah.
Just freaking doing it.
That's something
the Rooster,
that's kind of a
Hall
lost
of Famer
art
this
now.
year, and that is some Hall of Fame footwork being done in there.
It's a little bit of a lost art now because you guys don't have to do it. But then
No.
Shane came back last year and did it at Chicago and won. And I bet everybody was like, well, maybe we need to look into that.
Yeah. I think it does increase your braking potential because, especially in the Xfinity cars, SVG says that it helps a lot. And you saw Cole Custer wheel hop and spin out in turn one. And with SVG right foot braking, he's never wheel hopping. He's just tapping a little bit of clutch to calm it down. And that's a skill, man. That is a very, very solid skill. So I don't think if there's 36 guys this weekend, there might be 2 guys. I'm going to say there are 3 guys because there's 3 guys from over the pond,
Yeah.
and they probably are all right foot breakers because they're true road course fellas and ringers. So
How do you think, like, I'm going to give you a question that doesn't have an answer here, but you can answer it however you want.
yes,
Go back 15 years, give them the next-gen car. How does Boris Said do compared to the field in a next-gen car, same equipment as everybody?
like Prime Boris said.
Yeah. Because, like, Boris was never running, the best of the best car, right?
Yeah. I think the next gen car.
Or put Prime Boris Said in now.
I think the next gen car takes away some of the advantage for the really skilled road race guys.
Really?
The transaxle's forgiving. You don't have to match RPMs quite as easily. It's got the no lift shift.
Yeah.
It doesn't wheel hop like we see the Xfinity cars or cars with truck arms. So I think it takes, A.J. Allmendinger's an elite road course racer, and he hasn't been quite as dominant with the next gen era.
He does win more than all right, I'm going to say this to sound mean. He wins more than he should for what he's in and kind of
Yeah.
the Cup
he's
Series.
elite.
But he's elite, yeah. Pit road there is kind of split. It's almost like 2 separate pit roads. Pretty unique, with it being brand new pavement. You're going to run it probably even more backwards than you usually do, flipping
Yeah.
the stages. And
Won't be much tire dig.
hey, with look, I like that you guys are going to be hauling ass all race because that means there's going to be more chance of you guys busting your tail.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always fun to watch. It's good because it's an off year that we don't have to bring our wives there. It seems like we bring our wives out there every other year, so we don't have to pay that bill this year.
Yeah, that'll save us a couple
I
bucks.
I do like going out there.
Several stacks of pennies.
I do like going out there.
It's
but,
nice, man. I
awesome.
mean, Marcus Smith and the group has done a phenomenal job. Turn 11 Club. It's just a sweet spot.
Sweet.
You can go if you're in the location of the race this weekend, or you can watch it 3:30 Eastern on Fox. It's going to be a good show. We got some new faces coming in, and Will Brown and Cam Waters driving some good cars. I'm interested to see how those guys do. What do you think? Over the under on those guys? Top 20s?
Who are they driving for?
RCR and RFK?
Top. I think one of them runs top 10.
Top 10.
I think one of them could run top 10. Yeah, they're active guys over there, right?
Yeah. Will Brown's the current point leader.
Yeah, top 10.
Think so?
Depending on how he executes. They have practice, too, which is a big deal. You guys have full
50 minutes.
practice.
Yeah.
So that's going to help. I don't know. I hope it rains, dude.
I don't think it's ever rained. I've never seen it rain out there, ever. I'd love to see that.
I don't know either.
That'd be wild. I thought it was a blast in the rain in Chicago last year. Scary.
Rain on brand new concrete has to be slicker than a button.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoy it. Tune in 3:30 Sunday, Sonoma. And this is Stacking Pennies. We'll start stacking pennies back with you on Monday. Goodbye.